and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Shan, and if you're returning, then welcome back. Thank you very much for clicking on today's video. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a different one for me because I'm actually doing a requested video, which is really exciting. I shared with you my cross-stitching cross-stitching planner in one of my Flosstube videos, and did ask if anybody was interested in seeing it to let me know, and some of you did leave a comment in the comments box, and so I thought today I'd sit down and film this video for you. So I have bought the Teresa Little Stitcher planner. It's a digital planner. I have bought the Flosstube version, and I have also bought the planner that doesn't have any dates. So there are different options that you can buy, and I would definitely check out Teresa Little Stitcher's website, which goes through all the different planners that you can purchase. You can get different colours. I went for the pink because I thought it really fit really nice with the tabs. I think that is everything you need to know. Just something to mention, you do need a PDF writer. So you get a PDF sent to you via email from Teresa Little Stitcher, and then to allow you to amend the PDF and for the planner to work as a digital planner, you need to purchase an app that allows you to write and edit the PDF. So I bought the GoodNotes app, which was £7.99, and I purchased the planner for £25. I went for the Flosstube version because I have a Flosstube, and I also went for the planner that doesn't have any dates because I wanted the planner to be something I could use every year and I didn't need to purchase another planner again. So that was the reason why I went for them ones. Another thing to note is that a stylus is recommended for the planner, but I have been using my finger and I have been, able to still plan on the planner, so I wouldn't let that put you off, but it would be easier to have a stylus if you do have one. Now I am actually using my husband's iPad because I have a really old iPad, and the newest apps, so the GoodNotes app, wouldn't work on my iPad. So again, that's just something else to double check if you wanted to purchase this planner. So with that said, let's get into it. So this is going to be a flip through. It's not going to be a tutorial or anything like that. Teresa has amazing videos on her channel for Android and iPad users, so I would definitely go and check them out, as she does go into in-depth of how this all works. This is just going to be a flip through of my planner. So here is the contents page, and as you can see, there is quite a lot involved in the planner. So we have the tabs at the top, and we have the months down the right here, and then each of the tabs have different sections within. I am not fully utilising the planner at the moment. There are some pages that you'll see are empty, but I'll still show you so you get to see the full planner. So we'll start with projects, which is really the main one that I use. So the first page is the sal tracker, which I am not currently involved in any sales at the moment, but this is going to come in so handy when I do decide to join in with a stitch along. This would have been really handy with Hello Dear because I could have put in the release dates and obviously the details as well, so I'm really looking forward to using this. Moving on to the next page, and this is the work in progress list, and as you can see, there are quite a few. So I currently have 7 WIPs, and I have finished 3 in total this year, and I have fully finished one, which I'll be sharing with you in my next Flosstube. So I really like how I can just have an overview of my current WIPs, but it does get better. So I've just added a spare one here. Then we have the fabrics at a glance. So I've just got all my WIPs listed here, what the fabric was. I think that's really helpful, especially with having a Flosstube and being able to advise you on what I've used, what type of stitch I've done, etc. So these are just all the WIPs that I've got currently. And then we go into the project portfolio, and this is one of the things that I love about this planner, and it's kind of the reason why I got it. And that is that I'm able to add in a picture of what my projects look like. So these are currently my 2021 WIPs, as well as this page here. So that is one thing I really like about this planner. So we have Victorian Charm, Lovely Home, January Sampler. If you're familiar with my channel, you'll recognise some of these projects. So these are my recent projects, which I haven't shared on my Flosstube yet. And then these are my 2020 projects as well. What I really like about this is quite often we have all our projects in bags, and we quite often forget what projects we're currently working on. So this is one of the things I really love about this planner, is being able to insert a picture. Then we go into Project Tracker, and this is a page just specifically for one project, and it allows you to put in all the details. So I have the swans, who designed it, where I bought it, when I bought it, and I'm looking forward to be able to stick in a picture here of the final finished project. When it's fully finished, I can put it in here and I can add in the information. So that's just how it goes throughout all my projects. So that is projects. Then we'll go on to planning tab. So I'm not really using the planning tab that much, as I've not really had any projects I feel I really need to use this for. But I think this will come in really handy for those bigger projects where you've got loads and loads of threads that you need to buy, and I think it would just be good to have them all listed out here. You can also cross them off and maybe put a cross in any of them that you may not be able to get hold of. So I've not used this yet, but I think it's going to come in really handy. Then we have the cross stitch to-do list. So I currently have 3 on my list. So I need to order my fabric for Cinderella. Still haven't ordered it. I have now decided on a fabric finally. It's took me months, but I just need to order that. But I think I'm going to order that order it next month. Then we have order threads for Through the Storm and order beads for Winter Snowfall. I'm struggling to get hold of the beads, so that is still just on my to-do list. But I think I'm going to bead when I've done all the cross stitches, so I'm not in a rush to get all them done. And then there's just this little status bar here, which I thought was quite good. So when I've finished them, I can complete them, or I can even delete them if I wanted to. Then we have the wish list. So I only have one on here at the moment, which is my Frosty Forest, which if you're familiar, you'll know it has been on my wish list for a while, but there are a few others that I need to add on here. And I really like that you can add in a picture as well, so you can kind of get reminded of what it looked like. So I do have a few saved in my phone, which I need to add onto here. But there were quite a few on here that I had added, but I've actually bought, which is quite good. Then we have website directory. It's not something I'm using and don't think I will use, but it's handy if I ever want to. And the same again for shop directory. Then we move on to stash. So here is my fabric stash. I think there's another one that I need to add on here, but at a glance, this is basically what I currently have. I don't have a lot. I would really like to build up my stash, and I would really like to be part of a monthly subscription, but I've decided that I'm just going to buy one material a month for myself, whether it be a different material that that I have, or even if it's just restocking. Then we have Needle Minder Stash. This is not something I feel I want to track right now. I only have 4 needle minders, but I know that some people do like to collect needle minders and have a specific needle minder for a project. I know Caterpillar Cross Stitch has brought out needle minders for the projects that they've got, so I do think it's really handy to have them listed down here if you are collecting needle minders, especially if you're buying them for every project that you purchase. Then we have one of my favourite pages in the planner, and that is the chart pattern stash. So I currently have 5 in my stash, and I thought this was quite a good page for those projects that you purchase on email or PDF, or maybe freebies. You could add a couple of the freebies. I know there's been quite a few freebies released this year, so I thought this would be quite a good one to add a picture in of the freebie that may be in a folder, or you may have just downloaded it. So I really like this this page. So I do need to add in some of the freebies that I have come across, especially all of the freebies that Mama Loves You GB Michelle shared in her Flossmas. She shared some great freebies, so I need to update this so I don't forget them. Moving on to the goals tab, and here we have my yearly goals. So I only have 3. I'm not one to set loads of goals. I just wanted to set some realistic goals this year. And so my first one is frame all previous finishes. I do have quite a few finishes sitting, waiting to be fully finished, and some of them are quite old. And I think, to be honest, one of the reasons for that was, 1, I knew I was moving house, and 2, I was a bit nervous about framing. And now I've moved house, and now I've got more experience in framing, I really would like to frame all my finishes. So that is one of my goals. The next one is complete all 2020 work in progresses. I think that's realistic. I do have 4, although I don't think Winter Snowfall will be finished this year, just because I'm not too sure whether it's going to be something I stitch on throughout the year, or whether it's just going to be something I stitch on closer to Christmas. So I may not achieve that one, but we'll see. The next one is make something with my sewing machine. So I got a sewing machine for Christmas, which was amazing, and I would love to see where I'm at in December 2021 with my sewing. I would love to have made something that I could use. So that is my last goal. Then we have the end of year review page. So I'm looking forward to filling this out at the end of the year. So we have great cross stitch accomplishments, cross stitch things that surprised me, cross stitch things I'm proud of, stitching lessons I've learned, new cross stitch ways of working, etc. So that's going to be interesting to complete at the end of the year. Then we have finance. So I decided that this year I would like to track my finances, just because I'm really intrigued to see how much I have spent by the end of the year. So this is currently January, so I suppose you could say that doesn't count. What are we saying? Can we take £12.15 off because it doesn't count? I think I actually have took £12.15 off as well. I'll see. I'll have a look later to see how much the final January figure was. So I've tracked basically everything I bought in January, and I've started. There's a spare one there, and I started in February. So one thing that is great about this planner is that you can just add in pages and you can take pages out basically. So there's a spare one in there. So as you can see, you can just keep adding pages. So that's really, really helpful. So I need to add a few more into there on my recent purchases. So this is where we kind of get the end view of how much we've spent. So in January I spent £42.24, which I think is pretty good, but February I know is going to be a lot more than that. So each month I'm just going to total up how much I've spent on cross stitching, and then we'll get a total figure here. So I'm really, really excited to see how much I've spent on my cross stitching. Then we move on to the Flosstube tab. This may not be of interest to some people, so I will just skip through it. I actually haven't used it to its potential yet, and it's going to be something that I really start to put more time into, because I would really like to keep a record of my journey here on Flosstube. So the first one is Flosstube Video Planner. So this is going to come in handy when I'm planning out my next video, certain WIPs that I want to show, maybe some shout outs that I want to do, and you know, keywords and links, etc. So this is going to come in really handy. Then we have content ideas. I do have a few ideas in my head which I need to get into my planner. So I thought this is going to be a really handy page to use, because quite often I do think of ideas and then quite often forget them. So I thought that would be a good page to start using. Then we have this video brainstorming, which I did use for one of my Flosstube videos, and it did come in handy. I had the iPad sitting next to me whilst I was filming, and I just went through the points. So I had certain people to shout out. So I gave Evelyn across the pond a shout out, and Darcy Cameron in one of the videos. And this is actually the video that I showed the Teresa Little Stitcher organizer in. So yeah. If you had a stylus, you could probably just write it, but obviously I don't have a stylus. I do just want to quickly show you basically how I do it with not having a stylus. So I just add a box there, and you just put in exactly what you need, and then it shows up the word that you've put in. So then we move on to giveaways. So I haven't done any giveaways on my channel yet, but I do plan to do some giveaways. So this is going to be a handy page for me to keep a record of which video I gave a giveaway on, what the milestone was, what the prize was, etc., who it was, who won it, and the draw date, etc. Then we have channel analytics. So I haven't added anything in here yet, as you can see, but this is quite good if you want to just keep a track of how well your channel's doing. Some, you know, this may not be important for some, not, you know, so that's fair enough. But if it is something that you do want to keep track of, and it is something that I would like to keep a record of, just to really kind of capture my journey here on Flosstube. So I just need to add in January's and go onto YouTube and get that information off. Then we have passive income. So you know, if you monetize, you can add in the income that you've made every month. And then we have YouTube expenditures. So if I purchase any cameras, microphones, anything that really helps me with filming videos for you guys, I can capture it here to see how much I've spent. Then we have an empty tab. So Teresa put this empty tab in so you could use it for whatever you want, really, which I thought was really handy. And then we have the stickers. I haven't actually utilised these stickers yet. I have recently uploaded these into my planner, as they do come as a separate thing to add in. And Teresa does go into great detail on how you can add these into your planner. So I am looking forward to getting the planner all spruced up and looking pretty with all these lovely colours. And what I like about this as well is that they fit with the colours of the planner. So then we'll move down onto the monthly trackers. So we'll start with January. So this is a month kind of view of the planner, and I've been using this to track the days that I've stitched and not stitched, and the days that I've uploaded a Flosstube video. Then we go into, it's like a reflection page, I think. It's not something I've looked at yet or filled in, and I'm not sure whether it is something that I will use, but it's handy. It's handy for me to have it if it's something I do want to do. Then we have the WIPS monthly tracker. So here I have listed all the WIPs that I've worked on and the days that I've worked on them, and I use this to use in my Flosstube videos whenever I am talking about a project and telling you guys how many days I've worked on it. And then this is then broken down into a weekly view, and I think this would be handy for tracking stitches maybe, or anything like that, but it's not something that I necessarily track, so I haven't used that for this month or January month. And then the same for February, just because we're in February, I thought I would talk about February. As you can see, I haven't stitched as much this month because other things have needed my time. Again, this is the reflection page, and then this is where we're at this month. And I think that is everything. So if we go back to the contents page, yeah, I think that is everything. I think I've covered everything. Like I've said, I will link all of the links below for the planner. I would definitely check out Teresa Little Stitch's in-depth guide on it, so you can get a really good feel of how it works. And also, if it's something that if you don't have a stylist, I think it would be good to go and check out Teresa's video on how how you can work it, to see whether that is something that you would be okay in doing. But overall, I've been working with this now for the past 6 weeks, and I'm really enjoying it. I do think a stylist would be handy to have, and it is something that I am looking to potentially purchase, but to be honest, I would really like a new iPad, if I'm honest. This is my husband's iPad that I'm using, because mine is such an old iPad that the GoodNotes app didn't work in it, just because of how old it is. So I may potentially buy a new iPad with a stylist, because I do think it would come in handy with the planner. But I am really enjoying having all of these different sections to keep a record of my stitching. So that is it. That is a quick flip through of my planner. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're all doing well, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.